Hello everybody and welcome to our presentation. Today we'll be talking about Stitch Fix. Now in our group we have Emily, Cecilia, Veronica, Chardash, Denise, Jeff and James.
Hi, I'm gonna talk about the external environment analysis of Stitch Fix. First of all, nowadays technology has been growing and which also occur in the apparel industry. The demand of online shopping is increasing as the result of this development because the physical shopping process is quite inconvenient for consumers who do not have time to personally involve in the process precisely. The second trend in the market nowadays, there is variety of online shopping, but which is useful, however, become more complicated for consumers to choose, like brings them the confusion and hesitation of purchase decision. Moving on to the next analysis is Stitch Fix customers. They have the main segmentation is women who has better involvement in clothing purchase interest, but have limited time to choose their preferred items. In 2014, they have extended their customer segmentation for the whole family to diversify their product categories. One element which helps Stitch Fix to maintain and acquire more customers is that they have low switching costs between the financial and for psychological values. They offer the low deliveries and discounts for customers to encourage them to choose their favorite items. And lastly, about the competitors analysis, Stitch Fix has the big competitive market, which in clothing industry such as the Amazon and eBay. Moreover, they have about like 10 alternative companies which have the same market target over US, UK, and Canada. Another challenge for Stitch Fix is that the competitors are providing to the market with the low pricing and rapidly delivering process. They should create its competitive advantage and well prepare for the anti-imitated attribution by emphasize the unique marketing offerings.
When looking at the market opportunities that Stitch Fix currently has, the human resource and technological capabilities are the two main functions that should be exploited moving forward. In terms of the human resource capabilities, the CEO of Stitch Fix has already continued to hire specialists and certified professionals, such as hiring chief algorithms, which have led to company growth, as they have strategies and knowledge on how to better utilize technological capabilities and resources that Stitch Fix has. And should they continue to use this strategy moving forward and advance their workforce with new skills and so forth, this may lead to immense growth, which then goes on to explaining their technological capabilities. The use of AI is already sophisticated and advanced, as they are able to use neural networks to identify for computers to read human writing as well. When looking at all of this, Stitch Fix does also have the potential to then become one of the competitors against e-commerce giants like eBay, Amazon, and so forth, should they continue to exploit their technological capabilities moving forward in the future. Nevertheless, Stitch Fix also faces a numerous amount of market threats, which include the threat of rivalry and the sustainability of their business model. Due to the existing competitive nature of the fashion industry and the retail, their blue ocean strategy and their service, which does leverage their competitive advantage, this has already tried to be replicated by Amazon by implementing Amazon Prime Wardrobe. And although this wasn't as successful as what Stitch Fix offers to customers, the fact is that these e-commerce giants and other main competitors, they have a customer base of more than 100 million customers alone in the US. So the threat of customers from Stitch Fix churning and transitioning to eBay or Amazon is relatively high. So moving forward, having to innovate and ensuring that their strategy or the service that they offer is not easily able to be replicated. The sustainability of their business model, furthermore, is questionable. We've seen numerous reports into the fast fashion industry, the impact on the environment and workplace practices. Stitch Fix has to consider perhaps restructuring their business model to ensure that sustainability is maintained, as their target market is millennials who care immensely about the environment.
The first solution raised is secondhand shopping. This solution aims to address the challenge posed to Stitch Fix in regards to their model not being eco-friendly, which is a major stress factor in their target market being millennials. Secondhand clothing was valued at $24 billion in 2018 and projected to be worth $51 billion by 2023. This projection is a definite feasible advantage for the solution. However, Stitch Fix may have a profit lost with secondhand clothing as they would have to decrease the price for this option, while operational, mailing, shipping, and employee costs will all stay the same. The second solution is to introduce demand and custom clothing to their customers. The positives to this solution are sustainability and waste reduction, as a customized one-off item are more likely to be kept for a much longer period of time. However, this solution is much more expensive as one-off items cost much higher yield to produce. The third solution for Stitch Fix is to adopt the use of the 5 Rs, which uses secondhand clothing to remake new pieces. This model is extremely cost-effective and environmentally friendly. The effectiveness is high as the majority of consumers are millennials who are known for being increasingly environmentally conscious, and resources would stay the same if not less in cost. However, top management may argue that this isn't easy to transform a product into another product of higher value. The fourth solution relates to Stitch Fix facing the threat of the business model being duplicated by other e-commerce companies. Stitch Fix created a solution through acquiring the technology and intellectual property from Finery to increase customer satisfaction that companies such as Amazon have yet to copycat into their models. This feature allows Stitch Fix to raise their prices for competitors and can be seen as effective due to their customer satisfaction with this tool. Customer rewards and loyalty programs is popular industry-wide, that Stitch Fix can also adapt into their business model to compete in the market and retain customer loyalty. Customer rewards give a strong incentive for customers to return and stay loyal without visiting competitors.
There are two most critical challenges for the marketing threats of Stitch Fix. The first one is Stitch Fix sustainability of business model that let customers buy clothing with a long-term or even make them sell second-hand clothing to develop the sustainability. The main point is to create a circle of buying clothes and selling clothes. This can make customers can get money by selling their second-hand clothes, which can pass the check of quality, and then buy new clothes from Stitch Fix. Building a systematic platform to sell second-hand clothing for this circle will be a hard challenge for Stitch Fix. Another challenge, or even can be called as a threat, is making unique and characteristic strategy to against strategy replicating from Amazon. Stitch Fix combines AI and a personal designer so that need to update the data of AI frequently to make the strategy be unique and characteristic. For instance, AI can recommend commodities based on which the consumers usually search. It is difficult to eliminate replicating by other companies, so that Stitch Fix needs to improve itself to reduce the threat of it.
Now, the first challenge posed to Stitch Fix centers around the company's business model not being eco-friendly, as the majority of its target market consists of millennials. Now, it is known that this generation is extremely conscious about the environment and have expressed their concerns towards the retail industry about creating waste. Now, a solution Stitch Fix can implement is secondhand shopping. Now, the secondhand clothing market is gaining popularity amongst the fashion industry and the general public, and is valued at about $24 billion as of 2018, and is estimated to hit about $64 billion in the next 10 years. Now, due to millennials expressing their opinions and increasing demand for secondhand shopping, it has made brands and other retailers move towards that area. Now, in 2020, secondhand shopping will be worth around $32 billion and is projected to be worth around $51 billion by 2023. Now, another solution Stitch Fix could introduce is providing on-demand and custom clothing to their customers. Now, as shoppers are moving towards on-demand and custom clothing due to its unique and fashionable style, this solution will be essential as eco-conscious consumers are choosing to purchase customized clothing over mass production. This saves raw materials, natural resources, and helps make a difference in the way corporations produce products. Stitch Fix can also adopt the use of the 5 R's, known as reduce, repair, recycle, repurpose, and lastly reinvent. This model essentially focuses on upcycling fashion by reusing old clothes, essentially cutting out the recycling process, thus lowering costs and focusing on a greener industry. Additionally, to further reiterate an eco-friendly approach to the fashion industry, companies like Stitch Fix can collect clothes that are damaged, unrepairable, and either recycle them or redesign them, essentially providing a new purpose designed for these clothes to be worn by consumers. This further saves the industry on both raw and natural resources, aiding in the management of waste within the industry, thus promoting a greener and efficient market. Furthermore, the second challenge identified above emphasizes Stitch Fix facing a threat of their business model being duplicated by other e-commerce companies, as seen with Amazon and their similar business model known as Prime Wardrobe, and a situation with Blockbuster and Netflix. In order for Stitch Fix to prevent such problems, in September 2019 they aimed to restrict imitation and give themselves a competitive edge through acquiring their technology and intellectual property from Finery. Finery takes shopping receipts from email and creates an online wardrobe. This allows customers to visually see everything that they bought. They also suggest recommendations for pieces of clothing for that night out. Finery also makes sure to remind customers about the return deadline, which is pleasant. Their competitors of Stitch Fix aren't utilizing this strategy, therefore giving Stitch Fix an edge over the competition. Additionally, another solution Stitch Fix can employ to distinguish themselves from competitors include focusing more on rewarding customers when spending money on their services. Adding new features they may like, taking the time to listen to feedback and requests, this all strengthens brand loyalty. And so far, Stitch Fix has been doing a great job looking after their customers. In February 2018, they launched a new service called Extras, which allows customers to add extra products such as underwear, socks from top brands or their private label called Everyday. This model provides essential products to customers and discourages customers from visiting competitors. Adding extra features products to the business strengthens the activity and brand loyalty of Stitch Fix.
Second-hand shopping is no easy task for any retailer to set up. Whilst not too different to a Sunday market in principle, it requires a lot of resources to implement at scale. The proposed implementation would consist of an online marketplace whereby customers can list their unwanted clothes. Stitch Fix can use their existing e-commerce platform, warehousing and delivery networks to facilitate the sale of delivery and second-hand items. The second-hand sale process would consist of first step, customers would post their unwanted clothes to Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix will sort out the clothes and estimate the value and apply credit to the customer's account for the clothes that they sent in. The clothes not worth selling will be donated to a charity, and no credit would be applied. The Stitch Fix will then wash and photograph the items, which they already have that process for their full e-commerce store, and list them on the marketplace. Customers can then browse the marketplace for second-hand clothing and fashion items and order them as part of their next Stitch Fix delivery. The implementation would be an add-on to their existing e-commerce system. I think it's important to note the differentiation and the distinction between the second-hand e-commerce platform and the main e-commerce platform. And this is for the users and other external stakeholders to not take too much importance away from their main e-commerce platform. Therefore, the design should be a slight variation on the main site, and this can be done, but not too dissimilar that it's a completely different platform. The development timeline is approximately 5 to 6 months. The first 2 to 3 months would be phase 1, design and planning, which is the user experience testing, planning, wireframes, and market research. The second would be the development of the platform, the e-commerce platform itself. And once that's done, they'll go through phase 2, which is approximately 1 month, and that will be internal testing, user testing in the marketplace. And then once that's done, it's ready to launch, and phase 3 will be the marketing campaign. On the next slide here, you'll see how it will look on the existing Stitch Fix website. It'll just be a link in the top to go to the marketplace. And then the next slide over is the wireframe that we've proposed for the second-hand e-commerce system.